Well, good morning, campers. I have a Steak and Sanity update for you today. It's Friday, the 1st of May, and I've decided to try and restart my diet again and get back in the gym because I weighed myself the other day and it's pretty desperate times. So just to check in, I weighed myself this morning just to get a good starting point, and it's 105.6, which is 233 pounds in old money. I don't do stone, so I'm sure between the two of those you can work it out, but that's nearly my heaviest that I was at back in 2018 when I had a heart attack, or a minor heart attack, I would say. So this cannot continue. And yeah, so anyway, 1st of May, new start. I've got a bunch of stuff on this month that's going to make it slightly challenging. My goal really is to focus less on the diet and more on getting back in the gym. So that's my real goal, is to exercise every single day. And that's either lifting weights with a bit of cardio or actually going out on a determined walk of an hour or so, but at a little bit of a pace, but out in the fields or around lakes or whatever. And that's got to be the first start, is just getting exercise every single day. I'm going to try and work on the strength in my ankle. It's still sore, it still hurts. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to run on it, but that doesn't mean I can't go in the gym and get on a rowing machine, or I can't, get in the gym and get on an e-bike or something and do that instead. So there is other exercises are available. So I think that's really going to be my focus. Even the cross trainer would be really good. It might be a good place to start. I'm just going to have to go and figure it out. So I think my plan is going to be to go during lunch times. Sorry, I'm going to speed up, so it's going to get a bit loud. But my plan is to go during lunch times at work, and then that will make it a little bit easier maybe to stick to a better type of food. And I am going to watch my diet as well, so I am going to go back and try carnivore one more time, and see if maybe I can get it started again and stick with it for a while. But yeah, it's pretty, I'm not feeling really good physically. I mentioned this the other day. A lot of my other symptoms are coming back, the arthritis, the gum disease, all that stuff. As soon as not as soon, but once I've been off the diet for quite a while, all of that stuff seems to come back, and it is coming back and has been back for a while as well. So yeah, I really just need to pull my finger out and sort myself out. So all of the, I think, excuses around stress and all of that are actually going away. Business is going pretty well with the studio at the minute. A lot of the big projects we've been working on are finished and have been delivered. And so I think that's made things a lot less stressful, which means it's a little bit easier for me to manage my eating. So we're going to give it a go again. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we're just going to go one day at a time. In the beginning, I'm not going to kid myself, this is absolutely about weight and just trying to get as much weight off as quickly as possible. I need to get under 100 kilos pretty quickly. So if I get down to like 98, that would be a fair old whack of weight to lose. So yeah, anyway, that's me for today. And I may do another update about, well, I could just do a Friday update while we're going. There's a lot of cars here, so it's probably going to be the right speed. Yeah, got a couple things done this week. Got the first newsletter out for the studio. We have 5 or 6 new leads this week, and I have scheduled some more Life by Misadventure podcasts. So I have 3 recordings next week. I have one with a lady who is a lawyer who specializes in wills, and I know that seems pretty black considering the topics that I cover, but she had some really interesting things to say. I met her at a networking event, and some of the stuff she was telling me was actually really interesting. So I know it doesn't strictly fit in my, people having misadventures, but you got to remember the show is about me, and I'm the one who's had a life by misadventure, and I just talk to other people. So in my head, it fits into my story. And then I have, who else have I got next week? So I have a guy named Greg. Greg is from what I can tell, he seems to be a pretty big influencer on LinkedIn, and has been involved in podcasting and all that sort of stuff and TV for ages. He lives in LA, and he had some struggles with stress through work, and had some suicidal thoughts, and got some help, and is now doing really well. So I wanted to talk to him about that. And I have another lady coming in, Sonia, who is she's a trauma therapist. And when I've been talking, I talk to Sonia all the time about the show, and she and I started talking about what advice could we give to people so that if you have a trauma, what do you do? And I thought that might be helpful for all of us, me included, to know that if something traumatic does happen to us, how should we start to process that, and how should we try to process that ourselves? Obviously I assume she's going to say get professional help, but I think a lot of us know that there's going to be a time where we can't even do anything, and we're just going to be numb, and we're just going to have to figure out what the hell is going on. And so I want to talk to her about that process. So she has a story. She may share it, she may not. We'll see what happens on the day. And I also randomly, again, this totally doesn't fit within my normal schedule of topics, I guess, but I have been talking to a local weather lady who's been doing the weather with the BBC for years and years and years. And I've always wanted to talk to a meteorologist, an actual professional, about all the BS that we hear online about, what the percentage of rain means and how they do that, and why the weather works the way it does, and what we're supposed to understand about what they show us. So I know that's not a misadventure topic, but it's interesting for me, and it's my show, so I'm going to put it out there. And maybe she has a misadventure as well. That guy never ever nods at me, and it makes me laugh. I nod at him every single day, and he never nods at me. But one day, he is going to nod. Anyway, it's another aside. Yeah, so I'm still trying to get Harry, the PT, on, who was anorexic when he was a teenager. I just haven't been able to confirm a date with him, because he's quite difficult to get in touch with. So hopefully I'll be able to get a date in the diary. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I got a few small things, I think, done this week, but I can't even think of what they are off the top of my head. So anyway, I did record a new AI Evolutions podcast with Alan and Ben, and that was quite fun, so that'll probably come out next week. And I recorded a new WithAI podcast with my friend Dan Clark from Cambridgeshire County Council, or the Greater Cambridge Partnership anyway. And that was really interesting to hear what he has to say about AI in the public sector. So if you want to learn a little bit about that and how councils are using AI these days, that might be a really good one to listen to. So that's on Humans with AI. And right, it's going to get very noisy, so I'm going to stop talking now. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I think that was mostly everything for the week. And I did a lot of groundwork, did some kind of commercial work for the studio. We went out, we actually looked at a new location because our lease is coming up for renewal. And we just wanted to check and make sure that there's not, any other new space available that might be more suitable for what we want to do. But I think we've pretty much decided that we're going to stay in the town hall for the time being. I think for the next probably year, it's going to be suitable for what we want. But if our business continues to grow the way we think it is, then I think we may look for a different location. We won't get a location as ideally suited, I think, as the town hall is at the minute. But we could find a much better space that's more suited for studios, and that might be really good for us. So yeah, so that was interesting. And like I said, the newsletter came out. In the newsletter, we put a list. So this month is quite a busy month. We've got coming up on the 12th, I've got the Podcasting with Purpose event where I'm going to talk to people. Oh yeah, that's probably worth noting. I did, as you know, I've talked about updating my Podcast with Purpose document with tips and a like kind of a worksheet for people to work through when they want to start their own show. And hold on, I'm going to have to think here. And I've expanded that into an ebook and all that. And what I did though is I wrote the second version, the second edition, and what I did is I did everything. So I basically rewrote it all, and then I left it for a week or two, I guess a week and a half. And then I've gone back to it to create the presentation for this event on the 12th. And there's your tie-in. This is what made me think of it. And what I've realized is that I don't actually like any of the stuff that I've done. And I don't like I've made it too complicated. And I've done probably a typical thing, which is I think I've gone through and tried to make myself sound too smart. And that's not how I want this to be. I want this to be I want it to be plainly written. I want it to be easy to understand. I want it to be direct. I want the language to be direct. And yeah, so I need to go back and actually completely rewrite the whole thing again. But it was good to go through that exercise, I think. Oh, they're going to let me through. Thank you, boys. Yeah, so I needed to go through that exercise, and I needed to go kind of over the top so that I can now go back and edit it down to something that I think is more me and is more... I tried to like make it kind of makes it sound more academic, like, and that's not me. I don't do academic writing. I don't like academic writing. And I think I thought, oh, I'm going to write a book. I have to sound smart and I have to write it in a certain way. And I just went back and read it and went, nah, that's bollocks. I'm just going to do it as me. So over this long weekend, I'll probably take another look at that and sit down and try and rebuild that from scratch. And maybe I'll just go back to what I had before and just try it again, but do it in a different way. So fun times. And so there's that coming up. There's the drop-in sessions on the 14th. And then on the 20th and 21st, actually, no. On the 13th and 14th, there is the MPTS show, which is the media production technology show. And that's where they have all the big camera manufacturers and the equipment manufacturers and all that. So that's going to be quite interesting because I'm actually looking for some new gear. So I think talking to some of those guys is going to be really helpful. So that's in London. And then the next week, on the 20th, is the podcast show. And that's the 20th and 21st. So we'll be going to that. And we'll be there on the 20th. And then we'll see catch up with a bunch of people. A bunch of our customers will be there as well. And then Riverside has a sponsored drinks that we've signed up for. So that'll be nice. It's going to be a challenge for the diet, I have to say, because it's difficult to eat there, and drinks. So if I can get a good start on the diet, I'll reserve that night for drinks and try and not drink between now and then. But yeah, and then I guess the only other thing, just quickly before I have to, get quiet again, is Monday is May Day, and I've pretty much decided that I'm just going to go to the 1066 Café and pretty early in the morning, and I'm just going to stake out a spot, and I'm going to sit and watch the motorcycles come and go. And there should be about 10,000 bikes that are going to go down the A21, so that'll be lovely, and it'll be quite busy. So I will take my camera, and I'll take this camera, and I'll take probably my phone as well, and I'll do some video and maybe some commentary, and if I meet some people, I'll say howdy. All right, I gotta get quiet again. I'll see you in a minute. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I got so involved in filtering there and what was going on in the traffic, I completely forgot that I hadn't finished what I was saying. So yeah, I think I was talking about May Day. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go sit at the 1066 and do some video and maybe cut something together from that. And so pretty full update today. I think that took a lot longer. There was a lot more to talk about than I thought there would be. So if you've hung on this long, thanks for listening. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. I'll talk about random shit all the time, so you know me. And and if you want to listen to the podcast and some of the interesting stuff that I talk about, obviously I've got Life by Misadventure. If you just search for Life by Misadventure podcast, it should come up on all the platforms. And I have Humans with AI. And if you want to listen to Dan talk about public sector, then just go, again, search on any platform for Humans with AI, and that should come up. And otherwise, I will speak to you maybe next week or from Sunday or Monday at May Day.